Entryways are often one of the most underdecorated parts of the house. It can be a bit confusing since we don't spend much time there, but at the same time, it is one of the most visited areas in our house. Much like the cover of a book, it acts as a first impression and a welcome to our home. It also serves a functional purpose, often a place to take off shoes, store away keys, and hang our coats. Hence, it is important to design a beautiful and functional entry with a system that suits our personal lifestyle. Due to the most recent lockdown, I've decided to make some changes to our entryway. The space itself is long and narrow, with 2 cupboards on one side along with a laundry and storage on the other. As it is a rental, there are a limited number of changes that can be made. First, the hardware. The unit came with chrome door handles which looked a bit plain and boring. To give more of an elevated look, I ordered a couple of matte black handles and doorknobs from various retailers. Swapping them out is pretty straightforward. Simply unscrew the old ones and use the same holes to attach the new hardware. The only thing to watch out for is the size, so make sure to measure beforehand and get handles with the same screw distance. For the handles, since it is a one-way door, I ordered a dummy handle in order to save cost. This means that the back side of the door won't have any handles, which works totally fine as it is simply a storage cupboard. Overall, it took about an hour to replace the whole thing. Then, I kept everything in a box to be able to swap them back when it's time to move out. To give more of a uniform look, I also ordered a matte black doorstop to replace the existing ones. For the rest of the doorstops, I simply wrapped them with black electrical tape to give it a similar matte black look. It is a great temporary solution as I can simply remove the tape when it's time to move out. I did the same thing for the striker plates at the door to give a bit more uniformity. In order to hang light jackets and scarves for use around the house, I ordered a couple of the curved wall hook from Danish brand Norman Copenhagen. Instead of drilling holes, I decided to attach them with comment strips to avoid leaving marks on the wall. 2 sets are able to hold 2.5 kilograms, which is enough for hoodies and scarves. I placed them at the end of the hallway, closer to the main living area, to make it more accessible for daily use around the house. The wooden texture adds warmth to the space, while the use of 2 colors give it more of a personality without being loud. The final part is the shoe bench and rack by the door. The previous one I had a more traditional look and classic design, which doesn't really fit in with the rest of the apartment. The 2-tire shoe rack also doesn't fit boots, which ended up overflowing on top of the bench. To avoid waste and save some cash, I sold them both on Facebook Marketplace. Then, I got this Scandinavian oak bench from a local retailer. It came in a few pieces, but assembly is pretty straightforward. Everything is pre-drilled, so all I have to do is attach the pieces together. It is a bit pricier than standard IKEA bench, but the build quality is great as it is made of solid timber. To complete the look, I added a couple of peg rails in solid oak from IKEA. Similar to the curved hook earlier, I use command strips generously instead of drilling holes. For finishing touches, a basket is tucked underneath, which is used mainly as a temporary drop zone. If I have a book that I borrowed or clothing to be returned, I'll leave them in the basket instead of letting it clutter my home. On top of the bench, I added a book and table lamp to give a variety of texture, as the black brushed metal contrasts nicely with the surrounding oak wood. The extra lighting also gives a nice warm glow in the evening. The peg rail above acts as a place to hang our umbrella and occasionally a sun hat or tote bag in the summer. The oak material gives a nice warm tone to the space and complements the matte black hardware. In terms of functionality, the bench can now serve as a place to store our boots, while the additional space below makes for a great place to tuck away sandals. It is convenient as we can just reach out with our legs to take them on and off, which is especially great when we simply need to go out for a minute to throw rubbish. Before we go further, I wanted to briefly thank today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. If you'd like to learn more on how to design your own space, then I highly recommend you take Emily Henderson's class, Style Your Space. In it, she goes through practical ways to create a space that is uniquely yours. It also includes an incredibly helpful style quiz to help you find your interior style and how to mix and match your favorite styles. You can also take classes on photography and filmmaking, all the way to business and productivity. The best part about Skillshare is that it is curated specifically for learning. No ads, no distractions, and constant addition of new premium classes, so you can just follow wherever your creativity takes you. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of premium membership. Moving on to the other side, the shoe cabinet is kept as is. I've been using it for 5 years across 3 different places, as they are perfect for narrow hallways and provide plenty of storage. The cabinet itself is from IKEA, while the brass handles are simple DIY. I got them from my local hardware store and simply attached them with some super glue. The knobs give a nice contrast and premium feel to an otherwise plain looking cabinet. Due to the flat top surface, the cabinet also doubles as a console table to place decor and belongings. Functionally, it serves as a place to hold some books and a tray for our keys. A hanging plant facing the door to give a pop of color when walking into the apartment, and an Art Deco table lamp on the other end to light the hallway. I've also placed the Echo Show here to be able to glance on the time when going out or coming home. It also alerts us whenever there is a parcel coming and allows us to control the lights. Similar to the rest of the apartment, I use Philips Hue bulbs to be able to control the temperature of the lights. Finally, the corner of the hallway is the only part that gets some amount of sunlight in the morning. After doing some research, I decided to get a snake plant to brighten up the space and help purify the air. It is also a great addition as it grows upwards instead of out, thus not taking up valuable space in the narrow hallway. Everything else behind the door is kept as is. a storage room and laundry which I just organized and did a video on, and a cupboard to hang coats and heavy jackets on the other side. Similar to the rest of the apartment, I tried mixing budget and designer pieces to give an elevated look. I also added greeneries and natural materials to give a pop of color and make the space more welcoming. And that's a quick makeover of our entryway. While we don't spend much time here, having a functional and organized entryway brings peace to our morning and a welcoming space to come home to. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer them. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.